Welcome back everyone, it's Mellow Scott here. After my last video where I decided to play tall, I thought I'd take this one step further. We're going to be playing as the independent Count of Suenik, who's going to have only one personal barony holding. We are going to be staying as an independent count at that rank for the entirety of the game, and we're also going to be surrounded by hostile and evil religions because we're apostolic Christians, just to make things even more challenging. I'm also going to be playing on Iron Man mode, so let's see how long I can survive on this forsaken mountain province. Jumping into the character creator now, let's see the stats that we're going to be working with. Nothing particularly useful in the apostolic religion, apart from the fact that we've got a spiritual head of faith who's going to be able to bestow us gold. The Armenian cultural traditions don't help us all that much either. The only one I would say of note is the Eastern Roman legacy, which will increase our men-at-arms limit and also reduce their maintenance cost. For education, I am going to go with Fortune Builder. I was considering going for one of the diplomacy ones, but when playing as an independent count, you're going to be restricted from some of the mechanics that this tree can afford you. For personality traits, I'm going to go for Diligent in order to use the Develop Capital ability, and then I'm going to pick two traits that are seen as virtuous by the Apostolics so that we can get more piety, so we can more frequently ask our Head of Faith for gold. Okay, jumping into the game now, we did start with the intelligence trait, so I'm going to look for a wife here to reinforce that. There is one genius available, so we're going to snap her up now. As I touched on earlier, alliances are going to be really hard to come by here. The best strategy I find here is to amass as much money as possible in order to create an emergency fund for those situations where we need a lot of mercs.
You're using mercenaries for Christ's sake. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm going to take wealth focus for the monthly income percentage boost, and I'm going to be aiming for golden obligations first to make some money through blackmail, and then I'm going to go down the architect tree to get centralization so we can get a bonus to the development growth in our county. We have very few courtiers at the minute, which means our council is very badly run. No one wants to join our pathetic county. To rectify this, I am marrying off some of my unmarried courtiers. For example here, to get someone with a high stewardship skill. He's going to be our new steward, who's going to be crucial in boosting our county's development growth. We have the same problem with our knights here, not many at all. We need every able-bodied man that we can get in order to defend ourselves, so I'm going to make sure to invite some more knights to the realm, and also do some more marriages for people with decent prowess skill. My spymaster has managed to pick up a few secrets, so we're going to blackmail this poor guy to get a bit of money to develop our only province. We've actually managed to blackmail the same guy again here. He seems to be running absolutely rampant in the Byzantine Empire. We're going to take centralization now for that boost to our realm capital growth. It will add up quite substantially in the long run. We need to make sure we're ahead of the curve. We're already massively behind in gold and levy numbers because we're playing as a count. Our spymaster seems to be unable to find any more secrets. Sometimes it's worth moving them around to different empires so they can continue indulging their voyeuristic fantasies. Our wife really knows what's at stake here. She's managing to garner a few more reinforcements, giving us a 5% boost to our levy troops, bringing us up from 502 to a whopping 511.
Hooray!
Sometimes when you're in the stewardship tree, you do get very lucky with some of these random events. This one's going to give us more development growth too, so we're starting to stack that up pretty nicely here, offsetting that terrible negative 25% penalty. I'm going to go for the Jeweler's Workshop for this one, giving us a net positive to our gold in the long run. We've had a daughter who is now 3 years old. I'm going to be educating her in learning. I'm going to generally be switching between stewardship and learning to reap the bonuses in both of those trees. Learning helps more for getting the innovations, but once you cap them out, it's better to go back into stewardship in order to maximise your gold output. I haven't managed to ask my head of faith for gold yet, so what I'm going to do is go on a pilgrimage here. This will give us even more piety and also some head of faith opinion. There we go, decisions available now. Now we can cash in our useless piety for gold. I've got to be very careful about managing stress here because of the developed capital decision that we keep on using, plus the virtuous traits we took at the start of the game, which make blackmail also give us stress, means there's a very fine balancing act here. Because I want the characters we're controlling to be the cultural heads, I am going to diverge from the Armenian culture and create the Suenikian culture. The only thing I've changed here is to make it bureaucratic. That's going to give us a further bonus to development growth in the province. We've got another daughter born here. I'm going to try and get an alliance with her, but it's probably going to be with an absolutely terrible count or duke if we're lucky. Anything we can do to increase our effective strength will ward off potential attackers who won't see us as the easiest pickings. You'll notice I've been saving up my gold balance quite a bit here. The reason for this is I want to build the Grand Cathedral. It gives us an extra 3 tax per month, as well as a bonus to development growth. It's one of the only good buildings we're going to be able to get in this region. If you look here, we've also stacked quite a few bonuses to building cost reduction, saving us a whopping 350 gold. As far as other buildings are concerned, we're very limited by the fact that we're in a mountain province I've gone for the economic buildings first here. What we have access to are quarries as well as pastoral land. I've also taken the building that gives us an upgrade to our garrison size. I'm hoping a large garrison will dissuade the enemies from attacking us because it's going to require them to have a larger army in order to siege down our fort. I'm using the Confider trait a lot here because we are just a count with only one direct city vassal, and this negative vassal opinion really matters, so it's quite a good one in order to manage stress in these situations. You'll notice we're up to 7.2 gold per turn now after building some of these economic buildings and the cathedral, so doing alright as a single county with just that one city vassal. We are missing out on that nice gold bonus you can get from being on your liege's council as well. I'm getting a little bit concerned at the level of gold that we're going to plateau at, but let's just see how far we can take this. I'm continuing to develop as many of the buildings as I can up to level 2, where I'm going to end up capped by our innovations. I keep asking my Head of Faith for gold and doing blackmails in order to keep building our gold balance. I've specced into the learning lifestyle a little bit here, just to try and keep this character alive a lot longer. We have just been given the decision to become a lunatic from our stress level. I was kind of hoping that we would get this one. It will give us an additional building slot for the greenhouse if we can't get the glass monument. We do need a special eventifier for that though, so we're going to have to get lucky. And that's going to give us some additional gold per turn and development percentage growth, which is going to be really nice given that we're very limited in the avenues in which we can generate gold. We've become this little enclave in the Abbasid Empire, and a nearby Abbasid emirate has decided to attack us. They have 12,000 troops against our measly 836 levies. Let's see if we've built up enough of a defence and gold reserve in order to survive this. I'm very, very concerned that this is going to be it. I need to be very efficient with my picks of mercenaries here. I'm making sure to pick men-at-arms units that are going to give us a bonus in the mountains. They want to have some spearmen and also units which counter the counters to spearmen. I think that makes sense. I'm also going to make sure that we've got the best knights available to us at the moment, so I'm going to be forcing the ones into battle which have the highest prowess. We're just going to basically camp on this hill now and hope that they are dissuaded from attacking us, because we are going to have quite a bit of an advantage from being in the mountains, reducing our combat width, and also having the bulk of our army composed of very strong men-at-arms. If we manage to kill enough of them, they do need quite a lot of troops left in order to take the town. As you can see here, we're already up at 11%. They have still not attacked us. The longer they go without engaging in battle, the faster this is going to tick up. Okay, I don't see any armies around, and I'm a bit worried that our mercs will expire without having done very much. I'm going to venture into the other nearby hills and mountain provinces and try and more quickly get that war score up so we can potentially score a victory, or at the very least get a white piece. So I'm going to go on the offensive. I'm going to try and stay in mountainous terrain, and if I see any enemy armies nearby, I'm going to go straight back to our home province. Okay, I'm getting very worried here. I'm taking attrition, and also there is an army that is heading straight for the capital, so I'm going to use my war score now just to totally piece them out. I did want to get 100% because that would have given us a bit of money to replace the amount we spent on the merc. Never mind, let's just take what we can get here and continue to build up our forces. Quite impressive we managed to win that one when we were outnumbered so badly. I managed to pick up the witch trait. It would be nice to form the witch's coven, but the problem is, because of our culture, the zealous trait is quite common, and that prevents you from easily converting people. So it's unlikely that we're going to be able to do that. We have entered the next historic age for innovations. I'm going to pick up communal government and coinage first in order to boost the development growth. Then I'm going to go for the ones that give us economic buildings, and finally the military buildings and men-at-arms ones. Going down the whole of the body tree has managed to keep our character alive for quite some time. I've now been dipping into the scholar tree. Plant cultivation, a great one to boost our steward's ability to promote development in our capital, and scientific's great for increasing the speed that we research innovations. I picked up the wise man trait. That's also quite a nice one. If you use hold mystical communion, that really helps you churn through the lifestyle tree, so it's very worth trying to get that part. Sometimes you get it from random events from pilgrimages. Okay, we finally died at the age of 72 here. Probably from all that stress that we had, that definitely didn't help us. Our next character is still pretty good though, still has diligent, so we can keep using developed capital. Also a wise woman, so we have that mystical communion as well, so we can keep our learning nice and high, keep unlocking those innovations fairly quickly, and getting those juicy development growth bonuses in our province. Just taking a look here at our development tab, I just wanted to show you some of the bonuses you can stack in order to get way ahead of the AI. 18 development at 915 AD isn't too bad given we started so low. Our county is soon going to become an absolute mountain paradise. Alright, we've been attacked again here, again by one of the vassals in the Abbasid Empire. He doesn't have as many troops as before, but he does have quite a few allies. We only have 1100 men here, and we're going to need a lot more than that. Let's again hire some pikemen mercenaries, so we can just camp at the top of this hill, and hopefully dissuade them from attacking us. It looks like they are going to try and engage us here, and it is not looking particularly good. I don't know why they waited around so much. Instead of hiring more mercs to defend, I am just going to take the white piece here. Okay, so I feel now is a good time with our economy a bit more developed and our gold reserves a little bit higher to start building up a standing army. I'm definitely getting a lot of pikemen and archers because of the nearby hill terrain, and then I'm going to get some armoured footmen because we're going to be able to boost their ability up through the use of a barracks. We can get a little bit more of them in a regiment because of our cultural bonuses. I've managed to amass enough piety now to create our own religion. We are going to be doing the mighty Church of Scientology this time in order to get things that are going to boost our learning lifestyle experience and our learning skill, such as the Alexandrian Catechism and Esotericism. Esotericism is the one that makes the wise man and wise woman trait a lot more prevalent. I'm also going to give this religion equal gender rights because we're really struggling to fill the councillor positions. This will really expand our councillor pool, letting us use some of our female family members in those positions too. Now, one problem we're going to have initially from creating our own religion is the fact that we're going to lose our head of faith who we're demanding gold from every so often. I'm going to try at some point to go to war for a holy site so we can hold it temporarily to create a new head of faith and then immediately let it go. I'm a bit concerned that the opportunity is not going to arise here, but we can only hope. I may have shot myself in the foot slightly with this one. Okay, this character has now died at 82 years old, ripe old age, and we're on to our third generation. This guy is great, he's a genius with a decent stewardship skill. That's going to allow us to amass quite a lot of funds, which we really need now because some of the other factions nearby are really upping their game in terms of the number of men at arms and levies that they have. Got a new heir here. We're going to name him after our starting character. He didn't pick up the genius trait unfortunately, but he is robust, so getting closer to that strength in the bloodline. You'll notice up in the corner too that one of the other problems of playing an independent count is that renown growth is absolutely shocking. We've only got plus 0.3, and this is likely not to get much better unless we can somehow get our family members onto the thrones of other kingdoms because of that count rank that we are stuck with. So we are at 27 development now, which is fantastic, and 7.1 net gold per turn, with a substantial amount of men at arms ready to be raised. We didn't get to play as that guy very long, and we are now playing as our son. We're doing fairly well with the innovations here as well, managing to get those development boosting ones and our economic buildings. It'll also be useful to get more men at arms slots and potentially siege weapons in case we need to do a tactical strike on the enemy capital to try and get lucky in capturing a valuable hostage. Okay, that's household soldiers finally unlocked here. Definitely going to use some of our gold now to get those regiments up. Hopefully our large men at arms size in comparison to nearby AI are going to dissuade hostile kingdoms from attacking us over others. We have had a nearby count propose an alliance with us. This is the first time we've had someone worthwhile actually proposing an alliance. He has quite a decent amount of troops here, although the only reason I think he's doing this is to cause the war. So yeah, let's help him out. We don't want him to end up getting deposed because he is quite a nice ally to have. And not only by helping this guy out, our son got injured and was killed. A typical mistake I always make in my playthroughs is to forget to turn on forbid for my son for being a knight. I'm finding it very difficult to breed good traits in my heirs and also in my councillors. Playing with the restrictions we have, I have noticed that our character pool is absolutely tiny, so this calls for some drastic measures. We're going to uplift our religion to version 2 in order to unlock that fantastic unrestricted marriages perk. So that perk's letting us set up some much more tactical marriages. That is going to let us breed some superhuman councillors hopefully. Definitely nothing that could go wrong here. It's 1054 now, development up at 41, very nice. I think we are now the most developed province in the game by the looks of things. Thousands of gold in the bank now, which is fantastic as well. We've been churning through our innovations, letting us get our buildings up to tier 4. And not much long later, we're getting some of them up to tier 6. I've solved the renown problem somewhat by just having a lot more dynasty members. We can get that up a little bit more by trying to get some of our dynasty members onto the thrones of nearby kingdoms. That will also help us get some allies, which have been difficult to come by so far. I'm going to go on the offensive here. Our tiny county doing particularly well against these guys, and we managed to secure a victory. I'm not allowed to hold this county, so giving it immediately away to one of our dynasty members. So they've quite quickly died without kids or been murdered, something like that, and it's been immediately incorporated back into a nearby kingdom. I'm probably going to have to press multiple claims at once next time and make sure they end up in charge of a sizable chunk of land. Okay, we've been attacked by the kingdom next to us. I think we can even go on the offensive here. If we look at our army, a nice composition of men at arms, giving us a massive advantage on these hills. And we managed to win this war, thankfully, against a much superior foe. What I am worried about though are the Abbasids to the south, not this Armenian kingdom. They're kind of acting as a bit of a meat shield against the Abbasid Empire to the south. I don't know how I'm going to get another holy site at this point. It does seem like the Muslim factions are doing particularly well. I may have to go for the one in the Byzantine Empire. I'm getting very concerned this kingdom next to us is going to end up swearing fealty to the Abbasid Empire or be swallowed up by it. So I'm going to attack it now with multiple claims in order to give some land away to a dynasty member. Let's hope that this works this time. Alright, great. I managed to get 5 provinces there and I'm handing them out now. Fingers crossed that this time they're strong enough to survive on their own. You can already see that not long later, they're already starting to lose a crap ton of land. This plan really isn't working well at all, is it? And just look at the Abbasids here. Up at 36,000 soldiers. Yeah, if they attack us now, I don't know that we're going to be able to defend ourselves. I'm going to try and do a sway scheme. I don't have a clue whether that's even going to help at this point. He's got quite a massive negative opinion of us, this guy. To make matters worse too, it looks like our son has gotten syphilis, which is not particularly great. However, one bonus is he is a lunatic with the Glass Monument event, so we can build ourselves the greenhouse. Somehow he also got spontaneously cured from his great pox. The greenhouse, by the way, gives us plus 25% development growth, really nice boost, as well as a health and prestige bonus. I'm continuing to do some very strategic marriages here. It's all going very smoothly so far with no negative consequences. I've jumped ahead slightly to 1231 AD. Just looking at our development now, we're up at 78, which is absolutely amazing for this year. Unfortunately though, we've got our first batch of dud descendants. We're just going to imprison and execute them and then try again for some better ones. We've just been declared war on by the faction next to us. They have an absolutely crazy amount of troops and allies. I'm going to hire mercs. I probably should have stockpiled a bit more gold rather than investing in men at arms now that I think about it. We do have 10,000 troops roughly here and we do have the mountains. Will that be enough? I'm not sure. I think we've sort of hit a plateau now where we can't actually develop all that much more. So the AI are basically going to be just outclassing us year on year. It is 1267. Let's see how we do against this oncoming army. Yeah, we're doing terribly. We're going to lose this. They've got way more than enough troops to siege down our fortress now. We're not going to be killing any of them off. So as soon as we get defeated here, they're basically just going to siege us down really fast and it's really not looking good. We basically need some kind of miracle at this point. I don't know if getting this character killed will help at all. I can give that a go. Okay, we've managed to make him wound himself and he's dead. His heir's taken over. And yeah, we've lost the war. We've had our land taken off us and we've lost the game. So yeah, 867 to 1269 as a fully independent count. Not gonna lie, I don't think this is a particularly fun way to play the game. Let me know what you guys think. And also, what sort of things would you have done during this type of playthrough? Hi guys, it's Mel Scott here. If you've got any suggestions on things you'd like to see me make content for CK3, then join the Guilded server I've created, because in there you can chat with other community members and also speak to me about all things CK3 related. If you like this video too, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and also be sure to check out my other content, for which links are coming up now. Thanks very much guys and hope to see you next time.